You can see this is one of the award-winning gadgets here at CES 2025, and this is from Anker Solix. Now, this is their new DC fridge, and it's actually got some really cool features that I've not seen on other DC fridges. I wanted to show this to you guys in case you need some portable refrigeration. You can keep your food either frozen or cold, and this is huge. 58 liters of storage inside here. It's got some special features I'll show you here in a second, but 58 liters is a very large DC fridge. So if you do any overlanding or RVing, camping, you want something that's really efficient, this is something you may want to consider. Usually DC fridges only use around like 60 to 80 watts at the max. On average, it's pretty typical to see around 50 watt hours per hour of operation. Now that obviously does depend on how you're being used, and you can change the settings in here, but this is the most incredible part. It has a 79-hour runtime, which is absolutely phenomenal. And the 79 hours is due to the fact that it has two large batteries here on the side, but each one of these is 288 watt hours. So if you add that up, we're just below 600 watt hours total, which means this is using less than 10 watt hours per hour, according to their math. Now, that's obviously going to be if it's fully charged and if the inside is full. And even better, if everything is frozen inside, that's going to help it last longer. So that's ideal conditions. I wouldn't expect to see that normally, but if they're advertising 79 hours, I would expect to see at least 48 hours this with common typical usage if you're out camping or using it in an RV. The batteries can recharge one of two ways. The first is just USB-C input, and that's what they're showing here off of this other Anker unit, is just recharging these batteries. And they've specifically put in these little slits on the side here, so that way you can still reach inside and get this charged, but also the batteries will output. So if you need to charge your phone, drone, camera, whatever, you can also use these to output. And 288 watt hours per battery is pretty large, especially for something like a phone or a small device. Now, one of the things that's unique that I've not seen on other DC fridges is this little racking system. So they've got these really robust cleats that's basically kind of like a French, I forget what it's called, but like a French hanger or French cleat, something like that. And this will take quite a bit of weight. I don't know how much pressure that is, but I am pushing down on that quite significantly. No issues there. So I'm confident you can cut on this pretty easily. Once it's done being used for cutting, it can also be used here. There's another metal cleat, and this is a fishing rod holder. So that's actually pretty ingenious. Or if you just need to hang your utensils, whether it's for drying or just for holding, they have a special holder for that. Now here on the side, we have a built-in table, so this will fold down, and then you got a kickstand here to give it the support it needs. And one cool thing, this is not only a handle, but if you were to do some chopping, you could use this to put your trash can underneath and then have your stuff fall into it. There are two types of wheels included. This is the one that'll come mounted. This is just for typical use, but they also have these really large, heavy-duty, these are not flimsy wheels. They are very tough, and this is kind of like a rubberized plastic. So it's slightly grippy, but this is meant to go over sand and soft terrain. Look at that, weight limit each is 220 pounds. Now this fridge weighs in close to 60 pounds, so it is not lightweight, but that's why it has the built-in handle up front to use with the wheels in the back so that it's easy to transport. Now there's something unique here that I've never seen in a DC fridge before, and that is these built-in fans. This circulates the cold air in order to cool the food faster inside here, and there's an optional cage that can go inside of this, so that way the cold air can circulate even more. So you're gonna have really stable temperatures inside of this, especially using these fans. In the bottom of each one, there's a plug. It just simply pops right out. So you can see all this condensation that builds up in here. As the water builds up, it's gonna be really easy to just drain it out and keep it clean. Now the screen is pretty simple. You push the power button and it brings up the screen here. We can see that zone 1 is currently 14 degrees and zone 2 is currently 30 degrees. If we push the OK button, we can see we can enter smart mode. So basically, this is either eco, smart, or max. So if it's really hot out and you need this running full time, switch it to max mode, or if it's in a cool area, switch it to eco. That's where you're gonna see closer to those 79 hours of runtime. Zone control, this is gonna allow you to turn off a zone if you don't need it. Screen brightness is pretty obvious, protective voltage, and there's these different options here to switch it for Fahrenheit to Celsius, English, and so on. Now to adjust the temperature, you simply click this button here, and then it's gonna go to zone 1, where you can adjust this to either freezing or refrigerating. Click it again and go to zone 2 or zone B and do the same thing. So they can both freeze, both refrigerate, or have split. And then here we can see battery 2 and battery 1, their state of charge, as well as the mode that has been selected. Now, additionally, you can use this on a normal wall charger just using their adapter, but it does have an XT60 plug here, and this will allow for up to 100 watts of solar input, which is what I've been told. So that means theoretically you could get this pretty much charged in a full day and then keep running it off of solar and battery pretty much non-stop. So as long as you got sun every day, then it's going to work really well for keeping this running long term. Now this is just a concept item. Unfortunately, they're not making these, but this is a solar powered umbrella. It has supposedly 100 watts of cells on it. And then right here you have an XT60 and USB-C, which is pretty incredible that you could charge your phone, drone, whatever, directly off of this. So I'd love to see them make something like this. I would actually use this over my grill or camping or something like that. This would be pretty nifty to use. And extending the runtime by using some of their smaller power stations is another really good option. They've got some cool accessories here, like this light. So for any type of camping or tailgating or anything like that, this is gonna be pretty cool. And especially the smaller unit here for camping and backpacking, that's gonna be a ton of power, and it's all DC output. So there is no inverter, it's just USB and car charger stuff. Pair that with their bigger units here that are still very portable, and this is going to run basically indefinitely. Another item to consider looking at is their Anker Solix F3800. This is a very large power station that has split phase power. All that means is you can run power to your whole house, meaning both legs of electrical in your house. If you were to connect this to the EverFrost 2, it would be insane how long it lasts. But really this is just for backup power. It's an easy way to get split phase power into your house, so that way you can run all of your outlets, light switches, and electronics very easily. And I'll do another review just on this one separately, because there are some major announcements to go over with this. Or if you want to be really cool, you could use their solar jacket, and I'm sure they're not selling that either, but the concept is pretty cool. You could wear a jacket that is charging, but at the same time, if it's bright and sunny out, I don't know that I'd be wearing a jacket unless it's cold and sunny out. Maybe that's what it's for, is it'll charge up and heat up, I don't know. Or maybe you could just stand by the fridge the whole time and keep charging it up. Either way, Anker Solix is definitely trying to innovate, and that's pretty cool. Their F3800 was a pretty good unit, especially for the price. There's a lot of great features. It is limited on the solar input and its rechargeability off of the grid while running 240. But if you're looking for a really powerful, large capacity DC fridge that has easy to use batteries, then I definitely check this out. This is their second generation unit. They had one before that had some little kinks and hiccups. So this is the EverFrost 2 DC fridge. Thanks guys, be prepared. See you on the next video.